Continuing along with our particle systems, last time we made it rain or snow falling from a plane. We made some hair. Those are two different types of basic particle systems. This time I want to make kind of like the pump that would be on a spray can, or if you have like an airplane and you have the steam coming out from the back of it, or whatever we see from the air coming out from the back of it, or if I have a hose with water coming out of it. I want it to spray. I don't want it to fall from the sky. So there's a force involved, there's a particle system involved. But let me show you my setup here. So I have like the nozzle of the hose, or this area would be where I would push down with my finger on the top of this, and then it would spray out the front. So what I made was a cube. So I'm hiding the cube, and I have a plane, and that the plane is where the spray is going to come from. So I just put a plane on the side of the cube. I also have, and I'm going to keep the cube hidden for now. I'll bring that back later. I also have this a sphere that it has a red color of it. I want it to spray paint. I want it to spray red paint. So this red sphere is going to be what's emitted from my spray can eventually. So I want the particle system to come out of the plane. So I'm going to click on the plane and add my particle system. It is an emitter. And right now, it does fall kind of straight down from the plane. So I do have something going on there, but I do need to change some settings. I want a lot more particles, so I'm hand typing 9,000 in there. And again, these are just numbers. You don't have to use 9,000. Just this is for my setup. My starting frame, I don't want it to start on frame 1. I want it to start on 20, so that maybe I can animate a finger being pumped down onto that for the first 20 frames. I want it to end on 70. The lifetime is going to be 40. And again, these are just numbers. You can mess with these. You can change these. And as I set up these numbers, every time it goes back to 0, this is adjusting. So it's now showing a little bit more. It's starting on frame 20. It's ending on 70. So you're starting to see that happen. Some other things. I want the velocity to change. It's on, the normal is 1. I'm going to change that to about 10. And as soon as I do that, it increases, it sprays out a little bit farther. I'm going to change that a little bit more. Use your judgment on that. I'm going to bring it up to about 13. That looks a little bit better for me. Happy with that. The other thing I want to do is attach this red orb. So I'm going to go to the render and change halo to object. And I'm going to use my color picker to grab the sphere. So now it sprays out these red pieces of paint. So I attach that object. Good. Some more things. I want this to look more like a spray. So I'm going to pause this for now and add. So I'm going to go to this add menu, go to a force field. I want to add some kind of force, and it's adding the force. This is what it looks like. When I render, this round thing won't be seen, but I need to change the force a little bit. So I want to see what it looks like, and it's still just doing the same thing. I want it to look more like a spray. So I'm going to click on this button right here with the dot and the half circle, and I'm going to change the strength. I'm just going to bring that up. And already it looks more like a spray, but it's not enough for me. So I'm going to bring that up quite a bit more. And I have this nice spray coming out of my spray paint. So I'm at the point where I have it set up the way I want to. I'm going to bring back my cube. So my cube was hidden. It is not anymore. Just want to test it out one more time. And it looks like if I press down on the top of this, it would be spray painting something. So there's a little bit more. I'm going to go back to my plane and the particle system. And in order to render this, I need to go to the cache and hit bake. I need to set the keyframe. So every one of these particles, it starts on 20. It'll kind of bake that keyframe. And then on 21, it'll bake the next keyframe. And 22, it'll bake that keyframe. So I do need to set these in place. So that did that, the bake did. I also need to position my camera. So I'm using a shift tilde. Maybe get that into view a little bit better. And finally, I'm going to set up my render settings just like I would for anything else. Change it to my desktop. And set it off to render. Remember, the first 20 frames don't do anything, but after frame 20, it should start to render every single one of those because I baked them, so it's taking a picture for every single one. So that's a particle system with a force field.